Hello, welcome to Ascension Arcana Tarot. This is Christine with a weekly romance reading. This is a general collective reading, so as always, please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. What messages do you have for the folks in this collective tonight, God? We have the Star and the Eight of Pentacles. So this is giving me kind of two messages, but maybe one overall message. So what I'm really feeling here from the Star is healing, and the Eight of Pentacles is that card of like really focusing and working hard. So I feel like if you are in this collective, you have been focusing on your healing. The Star has like this beautiful effervescent energy for me right now. So it feels like this really lovely place where you've maybe felt some success in your healing, and you're starting to, I don't know, kind of lose like some heavy energy here. This feels really nice. The King of Pentacles and the Five of Swords. That's really interesting. I'm super drawn to like the body language of the King of Pentacles. So he's sort of oriented this way, and I feel like he's keeping an eye on this guy. So this is the guy in the Five of Swords who's sort of like the, I don't know, he's like the bad guy of the story of this card, I guess, right? Where he is wanting to win at all costs. So he'll cheat, he'll lie, he'll steal, he'll do whatever he needs to do in order to like triumph, right? And like beat everybody. And he doesn't really care that like this guy's over here crying in the corner. It's not a very nice energy, but I feel like this King of Pentacles is just looking over at him almost like a stern father, or like a disciplinarian. So it's feeling to me like a self-sabotaging energy. I definitely am not feeling this as like somebody doing this to you. I'm feeling it as more of like that ego energy. So ego, fears, any sort of like ego or fear-based patterns that you maybe are even like unconscious that are running through your head. I feel like the King of Pentacles is you kind of becoming more grounded in this healing, in a greater understanding and expansion of like who you really are, right? And you're really being able to recognize more these ego patterns that are kind of sticking out. So I feel like if you're in this collective, this star energy, this like beautiful, effervescent, healing energy, this is representing the energy you are either in or that you're healing into, right? And this is kind of like the old energy that you're leaving behind. So I'm really feeling that King of Pentacles again. It's like grounding that healing. It's really bouncing off of this Eight of Pentacles card to me. So it's you practice and you practice and you practice and you practice and you become more skillful over time, right? At like releasing old patterns, forming new patterns, right? Choosing new behaviors. So the King has mastered all of those lessons of the Pentacles. He's really grounded in his healing, in his learning. And he now is like sort of a watchdog. That's what this energy is, like a watchdog energy. And anywhere that you are sort of running these like fear patterns or these ego patterns, I feel like that healed part of you that's kind of like a watchdog is going to notice that. This card is sort of sticking out at me almost like a sore thumb. So I feel like it's going to be really obvious to you. I was working with one of my coaches the other day, and he said, I love this. He said, being able to look at those thoughts or patterns and say, that's not me. And I feel like you're going to say that. You're going to see this energy and be like, oh, that's not me. That's not who I really am. And then being able to sort of reaffirm who you really are, whatever this is that you're healing, right? This is a great energy. I love that watchdog energy of that King of Pentacles. He feels very grounded and he feels very safe. All right, we got 1, 2, 3 here. So we got strength. I knew that was the Tower. I saw enough of it to know what it was. Strength, the Tower, and the Wheel of Fortune. Wow. So this healing for you and you being able to start to really recognize like these ego patterns that are sticking out like a sore thumb, it brings in this great change for you. So these 3 cards down here, these are major arcana cards. This is basically the universe coming in, I feel, and being able to sort of turn things around for you because you've made space for it with this healing, right? And I'm especially feeling like that King of Pentacles, that groundedness that I'm getting from his energy, because you have grounded into this foundation of healing and you're really grounding into who you really are. The universe can sort of move this change energy through. So the Strength card for me, I love this card. It's one of my favorites. It comes up for me all the time. It's her mastering the lessons of kind of taming her inner beast, which is this similar energy of this Five of Swords. So it's basically her taming this, right? It's her being able to tame that ego energy and not letting it control her anymore, right? And she's doing it from a place of like great peace, you know? So you can see in this card, like she looks really almost like angelic, right? She's like got these delicate little flowers on her and she's being very gentle even with the lion. But even in her gentleness and her peace, she's in control, right? I love that energy. It's really beautiful. The Tower, obviously we know the Tower, right? This is the card of great change coming in. The Tower is especially dramatic in the Rider-Waite, so that's really sticking out to me. Whatever this change is that's coming in for you, it could feel very disruptive, shocking, like I never read any of these cards as like, quote, a bad card, right? Change happens in life. It's like the only constant in life is knowing that things are constantly going to be changing. So seeing the Tower, seeing the Death card, to me is never a bad thing, because it's just saying that there's change coming in. So with the Tower, I kind of feel like that shock. I'm drawn to like this lightning bolt, right? Like that shock energy. And of course, these guys were not prepared. Otherwise, they would not be falling out of the Tower. So I am feeling that kind of, this could feel a little unsettling to you. But it almost feels like, how do I say this? It's almost like, quote, a test, kind of like a spiritual test coming in, because you have built this foundation. So I feel like it's sort of the universe saying, hey, how's your foundation doing? And you're going to be able to say, my foundation is doing awesome, because it feels really solid to me here. And the Wheel of Fortune is the universe being able to come in and offer you some change. I'm really drawn to the wings on these figures. I'm kind of surprised. I just channeled in my mind's eye like the Temperance card, right? That angel with the wings. I'm kind of surprised that we don't have that out. I just felt that really strong. But the wings here to me is representing ascension, right? So it feels to me like whatever this change is that's coming in, yeah, like that Tower and Wheel of Fortune together is really speaking of change. And I feel like the way that they flow, right, from the Tower to the Wheel, it's something that may feel a little chaotic or a little difficult at first, but as the change progresses and as you're sort of leaning into this foundation of healing that you've built, it becomes really light. I'm really drawn to those wings, that feeling of like flying or like being light. And it feels like extremely important for your ascension. That's the other thing I'm getting from the flying figures. This is a cool energy. I feel like if you're in this collective, the first piece of advice is just that you're a badass, and to really lean into this King of Pentacles energy. Like the gender on the cards never matters to me. It's not important. So I'm feeling you as this star, right? This beautiful, effervescent, like shining energy of healing. And also you as this King of Pentacles, where he's really just solid and grounded, and he has so much abundance, right? Like you have an abundance of support, an abundance of healing. And that, again, that watchdog energy of him just really noticing those Five of Swords is beautiful. Alrighty, God, what advice do you have for the folks in this collective here? What do you want to say here for advice? The Moon. Yeah, I feel like the Moon is an invitation to go deep. So the Moon is like our unconscious, our psyche, our fears, right? For me, like I always read for folks that are on their ascension path or like on a spiritual path, because that's what I relate to. And this energy is an important, like a really important part of that, right? It feels like it's related to that star card, where this is where you're going within yourself for that healing, is kind of into the depths of yourself, right? And I'm feeling called to say, like, You don't have to, oh, that's funny. This was just facing this way in the deck. You don't have to go chasing the moon. Like, you don't have to go chasing your depths. It's really safe to just walk your healing path and allow the universe to unfold that in like perfect divine order, right? So it's really safe to just sort of relax and trust that the universe has your back and just take one step at a time down your path. There's no need to go and chase the moon. You know, the things will come up for you for healing as they're coming up. It's reminding me of the Eight of Pentacles card, right? So he's kind of working on one pentacle at a time. He doesn't need to dash down the path and make 50 pentacles, right? You work on the pentacle in front of you. When it's done, then you work on the next pentacle, right? And the universe gives you that. It's interesting that the Nine of Swords card came up here. So that's a card of anxiety. What's coming up for me is that the King of Pentacles, one of his sort of, I guess, negative aspects, if you were to read him reversed, is that he is a king who likes to have a lot of control. So if that resonates for you at all, I feel like that's what is coming up here, is like going into those depths, right? You're kind of really surrendering to like, gosh, I don't know how to say this. Like even the pieces of you that maybe you don't know very well or that you've hidden from. Sometimes there can be like trauma there, right? And I feel like there's some anxiety coming up around that because maybe there's some fear, right? Of like not being in control of those feelings. Those are the places within you when they're unhealed that might feel like a little wild, right? Or might feel a little big. So I feel called to say, if you are in need of support to move through this, like make sure that you are leaning into your support. You can get therapy, you can get spiritual coaches. Like there's so many avenues to receive support. This is a great energy. Ace of Wands, the Lovers. This is funny. I always start and like, I'm like, this is a romance reading. And then there's like nothing romantic about it. It's all just like Ascension. But that's what it is for me, is like, this is how you get healed enough to be able to call in that relationship for you, right? When you're in this place of healing, you're in this place of really kind of being a watchdog with ego, you let the universe move through you to bring this like beautiful change. I feel like that clears so much space inside of your consciousness for like the good things to come in, right? And I feel like that's exactly what this row is telling us. So the Ace of Wands for me is like this beautiful, creative new beginning. I always love that the aces have like this one hand kind of holding the object that represents the suit, right? It just feels like very divinely guided to me. I'm drawn to the fact that it has the little leaves on it. So kind of allowing something time to like grow or blossom, recognizing that, you don't go from like 0 to 100 in the first day that you met somebody, right? That there's usually kind of like an unfolding period or growing for relationships. It's sweet to see the Lovers here. I feel like it's speaking literally to love. We have the angel here, which is making me remember these little winged creatures over here. So it feels like a very elevated love energy that is coming in. But with this Seven of Pentacles card here, I'm feeling that it could take some time. And I'm not really sure how to say that because I don't really read time. So I don't know if that will mean that it's a week for you or like 3 years for you, right? Like you're going to have to walk your path, I feel, and allow the universe to just show you what that is. But I really, from both that Ace of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles, I'm feeling that energy of like, things need time to grow. Things need time to like blossom. And that it's surrounding this Lovers. It's making me feel that that's what this love energy needs. It's really beautiful. It's funny, when I was shuffling earlier, the Hermit kind of popped up like this. And I feel that like there might just be a time for you. And again, I don't know if it's a week, a month, a year, like whatever. The universe knows that, right? There's going to be maybe a time for you where you're just sort of integrating this healing. And you're really just focusing on grounding yourself, grounding into your life, grounding into your world. I'm feeling like that message around chasing again, where like the less you chase this love, the more space you give the universe to just like bring it in for you. It's funny that I mentioned the Death card with the Tower, because there he is. I feel like there's maybe one or two more cards here. What else do you have to say to us? Any more messages for the folks in this collective? That's funny. Maybe not. They're just showing me the oracle cards. So, okay, we will do that. I mean, the Death card for me is just speaking of like endings and change again, just like the Tower. I feel the energy that I'm getting from this, and again, like I don't read the Death card as like a sinister card or a bad card or anything like that. What it feels like to me is that when this love energy does manifest for you, when this energy does appear in your life, that's like the complete end of like this other phase in your life. I feel like it will be like this very clear delineation of like, this was my life before this relationship, and now this is my life after this relationship. So to me, that's feeling like this is like the relationship, right? Like this is your person. Which again, like that's a huge manifestation, which is probably why I'm getting this energy that like, it's really important for you to get grounded and to really just kind of let things grow, right? But that's what that Death card is feeling like to me, is it's just a complete transformation once this relationship manifests that you like never go back from. It really does. I really keep seeing that. It's almost like the international date line. On this side, it used to be like this, and on this side, now it's like this. That's a cool energy. I like that. Yeah, if you're in this collective, you're doing all the right things. Just keep going. Just keep going. Focus on your healing. Focus on your grounding. Like whatever you're doing, whatever work you're doing to do your healing, feels very powerful. And again, just remember, all of it feels like a surrender to like walking this path, right? And really letting the universe bring you kind of the things to heal. Like I was saying with those pentacles, you're not doing 50 pentacles at once. The universe will give you a thing to work through, and you work through it, and then you move forward on the path, and then the universe gives you the next thing to work through, right? And you work through that, and then you move forward on the path. And it's just the process of doing that over and over and over again and letting this unfold for you. It's really beautiful. Alrighty, God, what else do you have to say? The folks in this collective. This is more chatty. Oh, we got a bunch of them. Okay. We got 3/3 Soul Merger, Ebb and Flow. That's sweet. That's a very twin flamey card. It's got like 2 little swans on it. We have 10/10 Practice Self-Love, Nurture Your Inner Child. Yeah, I'm really feeling that. This is like, it's kind of like a very, like I said, the Hermit card didn't come out, but I did see it when I was shuffling. And I'm feeling that energy here. Like you're really kind of just focused on yourself and really getting grounded into your healing. And it's very beautiful. Yeah, if that resonates for you with this inner child, there might be some inner child work to do that's connecting with those pieces of the moon, right? So maybe any place that you have been sad, wounded, traumatized, that you felt, abandoned, unloved, unworthy as a child. Even if maybe you think as an adult that it was like a little thing, that little kid inside of you could be hurting, right? And bringing love to that place could be really helpful. So this says 3/3 Merkaba activation, ground, shield, and protect. That's awesome. That's totally the energy I was getting from that King of Pentacles, right? It's like that really grounded energy. I feel like that's so important here. The universe, it's almost like the universe is giving you space to like take a deep breath. And that deep breath is going to fill you up so that when this relationship comes in, you're like full, right? I just keep seeing this image and hearing like someone taking this big deep breath. So really filling yourself with those feelings of like safety, abundance, peace, healing, love. I feel like that safety is going to be really important, especially with this inner child card. I'm feeling those two together, that like it's important for your inner child to feel safe. Otherwise, you're going to act out anywhere that you're not healed, I feel like is going to be acted out and kind of made bigger in this relationship. And then 5-5 masculine twin, releasing your lower self. Yeah, that's beautiful. I love that. I feel like that's, again, what this energy is, where you're like this 5 of Swords, winning at all costs kind of ego energy is what's sticking out like a sore thumb to you. And that's what you're releasing. So with this King of Pentacles energy, as you're being a watchdog and recognizing, you know, here's some ego, here's some this, here's some that, here's another wound, here's a place to heal. And it's you know, do that with no judgment. Like whatever comes up, it's just an invitation to heal it. And you can do that, you know, without any judgment towards yourself. That's beautiful. I feel like you're releasing kind of these lower vibe energies. And with twin flames, that's really beautiful and really important, because whatever of this you're kind of not working through, if you're not healing some of that, it could become amplified. This definitely has like a twin flame energy to me. I was feeling that as I was reading this. So it could become amplified, right, by your twin flame. Again, the gender on the card is irrelevant to me. It could be your masculine twin or feminine twin or whatever. So yeah, I feel like maybe that will give you like a why, or help you understand kind of where you're at in your healing process right now, why this energy, why this relationship has not manifested yet, because you're still really just grounding into that place of loving yourself. This is a beautiful reading. So I hope that this was helpful if you are in this collective. And I hope to see you in my next reading. Bye.